The journey of a world champion is often marked by calculated matchmaking that serves to both challenge and enhance one's legacy. To contest against a former world champion who has seen the glory of his career and now stands in the twilight of his fighting days is not an affirmation to the noble art, but rather a deliberate step in the grand chess game of pugilism. Such a bout is a calculated measure, a prelude to the more monumental clash that lies on the horizon. Consider TJ Doheny, a former world champion whose past glories have exceeded him. Though the glory of his championship days have dimmed, his name still holds value, recently tested against Inoue, the monster ranked as Ring Magazine's #2 pound-for-pound fighter. Nick Ball, the reigning featherweight world champion, aptly named the Wrecking Ball for his aggression and pressure. His style is characterized by force and tenacity, as it demands not only physical resilience, but also profound conditioning. At 28, Ball embodies the vigor and endurance required to navigate the grueling battles that define a young fighter's path. Yet, the style, while thrilling, is a double-edged sword, for it exacts a toll on the body and spirit. Each bout constitutes a wear and tear endured in pursuit of greatness. In his dance of destiny, the meeting of past and present champions becomes a rite of passage, a necessary chapter in the evolving story of a fighter's career, where experience meets ambition, and the future is drawn into the crucible of the ring. When assessing a potential opponent facing a highly ranked pound-for-pound fighter, it's essential to adopt a devil's advocate perspective, examining both strengths and vulnerabilities. First, we must acknowledge the stylistic contrast in the current bout. TJ Doheny is a seasoned veteran. He exhibits a lower output at this stage of his career, yet possesses commendable power and a patient approach in the ring. In contrast, Nick Ball represents the young gun, eager to outmatch his opponent with sheer firepower.
And Nick Ball there just showed. Ball catches it. Just falling short with that long right hand. Final 10 seconds. Ball check. Ball representing the gym in there and defending his world title. Lower pace sword contest, and I think Nick Ball has picked up on that. He started this round.
Nick Ball's approach in the ring is rather straightforward. It's not about crafting angles, elaborate setups, or complex rhythms. Instead, it's about bulldozing through the opponent, charging in and rigorously testing the defensive layers. His offensive strategy is built on raw athleticism and explosive power. To simply put it, his style is quite basic. Get in range, set your feet, present a few feints, then pull the trigger. This is often referred to as spraying and praying in the field. Essentially, when he perceives an opening, he attacks with full force, letting any punch that connects do his work. The only real setup involves ensuring his feet are firmly planted, crucial for launching off his back foot. This is a battle of wills rather than a showcase of skills.
Just built for short and mid-range, but he can box well over the high guard. Beckons the challenger, you know. Against a very cagey opponent. Doheny now just on the receiver. How he does his work. Yeah, this is a tricky contest, isn't it? Because it's against a southpaw who knows what he's doing. Good start to the round from Ball. That left jab in round 8 so far. Then he puts the punches together.
If there was one glaringly obvious bad habit, it was Nick Ball's balance. Far too often, he would throw himself off balance. The issue arose when he pushed off with excessive force, causing his back foot to land improperly. When Doheny was able to hold him in a pocket, he became overly reliant on explosiveness to close the gap. This stems from a lack of creativity and engagement. Without the ability to disguise his movements or employ setups, he was too dependent on his initial step to bridge the distance between himself and Doheny. When Ball pushed off and Doheny managed to deflect it, his back foot frequently ended up out of position. This results in a brief lapse of positioning, leaving him vulnerable before he can reset and realign his footing. positioning is vital. Being off balance presents a significant threat. In these brief moments of vulnerability, it's challenging to defend or launch an effective attack. Both feet aren't properly planted. It's in these fleeting moments that a tactician like Inoue will see the opportunity to exploit. Most boxers' offensive strategies are closely tied to the defensive tactics. In Ball's case, he appeared to prioritize his punches over his defense. Like many pressure fighters, his approach relied on maintaining a tight high guard, but it lacked additional layers such as range manipulation, level changes, parries, consistent upper body movement. This makes a fighter quite predictable, as they are either attacking or blocking. With minimal threat of counters, opponents are less hesitant to take risks, knowing there's little consequence for their mistakes. This becomes a significant issue at the elite level, where a strong defensive base is necessary to complement the offense. Without it, a fighter needs a diverse arsenal to keep the opponent on the defensive.
It's that guard nice and on as he's approaching his opponent, roaring him on as well. Final few seconds of the seventh, ball on the ropes. Doheny. More confidence in there. There's less coming back from Doheny as each round.
In boxing, there's a saying, you're only as good as your last fight. While there are flaws to this notion, our memories can sometimes cloud our judgment. Ball is undoubtedly in the prime of his career. As a pressure fighter, he's at his most dangerous, having not yet endured enough battles to wear down his style. But the question remains, is his pressure sufficient enough to challenge a pound-for-pound champion? The unknowns present the only advantages. How will Inoue's power translate as he moves up to a higher weight division? And will his durability hold against a bigger opponent? Beyond these physical considerations, that's where the uncertainties end. Inoue is an exceptional fighter, and it would take someone equally remarkable to challenge him. Nonetheless, boxing is the theater of the unexpected, and a brawler capable of withstanding a monster's power might have a better chance than a boxer trying to outmaneuver him.